California's Title 24 Energy Code is the hardest building code in America, and it's the #1 reason container homes fail in California, even when they're structurally perfect. I've seen builders spend $80,000 on a container home. The structure passes inspection. The foundation is perfect. But then, the energy code inspector shows up, and the home fails. Completely. Why? Because container homes are made of metal, and metal conducts heat and cold directly into your home. This is called thermal bridging, and Title 24 doesn't allow it. Today, I'm breaking down exactly what Title 24 requires, why containers fail it, and how to fix it so your home actually passes inspection.
Let me start with the basics. Title 24 is California's Building Energy Efficiency Standards. It's a state law that says every building, including container homes, must meet specific energy efficiency requirements. But here's the thing. Title 24 is brutal. It's the most stringent energy code in America. Some people call it the California effect. It's so strict that builders in other states laugh about it. Title 24 has been updated multiple times. The current version is Title 24 2022, and it's even stricter than the previous version.
What does Title 24 actually require? It requires that your home maintains a certain R value for insulation. That's the resistance to heat flow. It requires air sealing, which means no gaps or leaks. It requires proper ventilation and humidity control. It requires efficient HVAC systems. It requires efficient water heating. And it requires solar-ready roof design. But the biggest requirement for container homes is the R value and air sealing. That's where containers fail. You see, a shipping container is made of corrugated steel. The walls are thin metal, the roof is thin metal, the floor is thin metal with wood on top.
When you try to insulate a container, you're trying to stop heat from transferring through that metal. But here's the problem. Metal is an excellent conductor of heat. It transfers heat 1,000 times faster than insulation. This creates something called thermal bridging. Imagine a metal stud in your wall. The outside is 120 degrees in summer. The inside is 72 degrees with air conditioning. Metal conducts that heat directly through the insulation. The insulation can't stop it. Title 24 doesn't allow significant thermal bridging, so you need to break the thermal bridge. How? By putting insulation on both sides of the metal, inside and outside. Now, let me explain why containers fail Title 24, and this is critical to understand. The first reason is thermal bridging. If you insulate a container on both sides, you lose interior space. A standard 40-foot container is 7 feet 8 inches wide. If you add 4 inches of insulation on each side, you're down to 6 feet 8 inches. That's a significant loss. Also, Title 24 requires a specific R value. For California, you need R19 to R21 in walls. That's a lot of insulation. For a container, that means 4 to 6 inches of rigid foam on the outside, 2 to 4 inches of spray foam on the inside, plus air sealing everywhere. This gets expensive fast.
The second problem is air sealing. Containers have seams, they have gaps, they have rust holes. Title 24 requires that your home has less than a certain amount of air leakage. This is measured in CFM 50, cubic feet per minute at 50 pascals of pressure. For a container home to pass Title 24, you need less than 7 CFM 50 per 100 square feet of surface area. That's tight. That means every gap, every seam, every hole needs to be sealed. Most builders don't do this. They spray foam the inside, call it done, and then fail inspection.
The third problem is condensation. When you have a metal container with insulation, you create a cold side on the outside and a warm side on the inside. If moisture gets trapped between them, it condenses. This causes rust, mold, and structural damage. Title 24 requires a vapor barrier to prevent this, but most builders don't install it correctly. So to summarize, containers fail Title 24 because of 3 things. First, thermal bridging. The metal conducts heat directly through the insulation. Second, air leakage. Gaps and seams allow air to escape. Third, condensation. Moisture trapped in the walls causes rust and mold. If you don't address all 3, your home will fail inspection.
So how do you fix this? How do you make a container home pass Title 24? The answer is you need to break the thermal bridge and seal the air leaks. And it costs money. A lot of money. Here's the typical solution. First, you add 4 to 6 inches of rigid foam insulation on the outside of the container. This breaks the thermal bridge and protects the metal from the elements. This costs about $3,000 to $5,000 for a 40-foot container. Second, you add 2 to 4 inches of spray foam on the inside. This provides additional R value and air sealing. This costs $4,000 to $7,000.
Third, you install a vapor barrier to prevent condensation. This is usually a plastic sheeting. This costs $500 to $1,000. Fourth, you seal every gap, every seam, every penetration. This includes sealing the seams where the walls meet the roof, sealing the seams where the walls meet the floor, sealing around windows and doors, and sealing around electrical and plumbing penetrations. This costs $2,000 to $5,000. Fifth, you need an efficient HVAC system that meets Title 24 requirements. This is usually a mini-split heat pump. This costs $3,000 to $5,000. Sixth, you need an efficient water heater, usually a heat pump water heater. This costs $1,500 to $2,500.
When you add all of this up, you're looking at $14,500 to $25,500. And that's just the energy code compliance. That doesn't include the rest of the build. But here's the thing. If you don't do this, your home fails inspection, and you have to tear it down or completely rebuild it. So the $15,000 to $25,000 investment is actually cheaper than failing inspection and having to rebuild. Now, there are some ways to reduce this cost. Option 1 is a hybrid approach. Instead of insulating the entire exterior, you can insulate just the critical areas. This reduces cost but requires careful engineering. This costs $8,000 to $12,000. Option 2 is passive design. You can design the container home to minimize thermal bridging through orientation, shading, and ventilation. This reduces the insulation requirements. This costs $5,000 to $10,000. Option 3 is alternative materials. You can use alternative materials like cork or cellulose insulation instead of foam. This is cheaper but requires more careful installation. This costs $6,000 to $12,000. The key is to plan for Title 24 compliance before you start building. Don't build first and then try to make it compliant. That's when you run into problems.
Let me show you 2 real examples, one that passed Title 24 and one that failed. This is a 40-foot container home in San Diego. The builder did everything right. He started with the exterior insulation. He added 5 inches of rigid foam on the outside. This broke the thermal bridge and protected the metal from the elements. Then he added 3 inches of spray foam on the inside. This provided additional R value and air sealing. He installed a vapor barrier between the foam layers to prevent condensation. He sealed every gap and seam. He used caulk, weather stripping, and foam sealant everywhere. He installed a mini split heat pump for heating and cooling. This is efficient and meets Title 24 requirements. He installed a heat pump water heater. This is 2 to 3 times more efficient than a traditional water heater. Total cost, $22,000. When the Energy Code inspector came, the home passed on the first inspection. No issues, no delays, no additional costs.
Now let me show you the other example. This is a 40-foot container home in Los Angeles. The builder cut corners. He added 2 inches of spray foam on the inside. That's it. No exterior insulation, no vapor barrier, no air sealing. He installed a traditional electric resistance water heater. This is inefficient and doesn't meet Title 24 requirements. He didn't install an HVAC system yet. He was planning to do that later. When the Energy Code inspector came, the home failed. Multiple violations. Insufficient insulation, the R value was too low. Air leakage was too high. The water heater was inefficient, and there was no HVAC system. The builder had to add exterior insulation for $5,000, install a vapor barrier for $1,000, seal air leaks for $3,000, replace the water heater for $2,000, install an HVAC system for $4,000. Total additional cost, $15,000. Plus, the inspection delays cost him 3 months. He lost money on financing and labor. The lesson? Do it right the first time. The $22,000 investment up front is cheaper than the $15,000 in fixes plus the 3-month delay.
Okay, so if you're building a container home in California, here's the step-by-step checklist to pass Title 24. Before you build, you need to get a Title 24 energy audit done. This tells you exactly what R value and air sealing you need. This costs $500 to $1,000. Design your container home with Title 24 in mind. This means plan for exterior insulation, plan for interior insulation, plan for vapor barrier, plan for air sealing, plan for efficient HVAC, and plan for efficient water heating. Get your plans reviewed by a Title 24 compliance professional. This costs $1,000 to $2,000.
During construction, install exterior insulation before interior work. This protects the metal and breaks the thermal bridge. Install vapor barrier before interior insulation. Install interior insulation and seal all gaps. Install air sealing around all penetrations. Install HVAC system according to Title 24 specifications. Install efficient water heater. Have a blower door test done. This measures air leakage. You need less than 7 CFM50 per 100 square feet. This costs $300 to $500. Have a duct leakage test done if you have ducts. This costs $200 to $400.
Before final inspection, have a Title 24 compliance inspection done. This verifies everything is correct. This costs $500 to $1,000. Fix any issues before the official inspection. Pass the official Title 24 inspection. The key is to plan and test throughout the process. Don't wait until the end to find out you failed. Also, use our foundation calculator to plan your container home. It includes Title 24 compliance recommendations. Link in the description. So here's the bottom line. California's Title 24 energy code is strict. It's designed to reduce energy consumption and fight climate change. And it's a good thing. It means your home will be efficient and comfortable. But it means container homes need significant insulation and air sealing. This costs $15,000 to $25,000. If you're building a container home in California, you must plan for Title 24 compliance from day one. Don't build first and then try to make it compliant. That's when you run into problems and costs. The good news? It's absolutely possible to build a Title 24 compliant container home. Thousands of people have done it. You just need to know what you're doing and plan accordingly. The bad news? If you don't plan for it, your home will fail inspection, and you'll have to spend $15,000 to $25,000 in fixes, plus deal with months of delays. So plan ahead, get professional help, and do it right the first time. If you're planning a container home in California, use our foundation calculator to get Title 24 compliance recommendations for your specific project. It's free and takes 5 minutes. Link in the description. And if you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. New videos every week on container home engineering. Thanks for watching.